Alrighty guys, Skitty here. It's weekend again, and of course, there's gonna be a new hot location. This time it's gonna be Mojoworld. Before we get into today's content, do not forget to sub for free for more awesome Marvel Snap content. Now let's begin. Mojoworld. Whoever has more cards here gets plus 100 power. So you want to flood this lane. You want to have 4 cards here and keep your opponent from having 4 cards here. And how are we gonna do that? Let's get into the game and check it out. Okay, the first deck that I'm going to recommend is going to be Ongoing Destroyer. You have a ton of small cards here, like Ant-Man and Mojo. And conveniently, they want to stack that lane together. And okay, let's say if you cannot prevent your opponents from having 4 cards in Mojoworld, well, Mojo is going to have 10 power for just 2 energy. And that's going to be so strong against your opponent. Then of course, if you stack your lane with Ant-Man, it's going to be a 1 energy, 4 power card, which is quite phenomenal as well. Okay, if you want to go completely crazy, you could go for an Iron Man to double your power. Okay, where is that? Okay, there we go. Oh, we have this in the deck. My bad. So, Iron Man. Your total power is doubled at this location. Just throw down a ton of strong stuff. Maybe even Warpath. A 4-10? a 4-9? And then bam! Your lane is going to be extremely strong if you slap down your Iron Man. Then of course, if you want to protect your stuff, you could always go for armor. And then, during the late game, on turn 6, bam! Destroyer. It does not destroy your lane with armor in Mojoworld. And then Destroyer might just win you another lane on its own. And finally, you got another win condition if you don't draw into your Destroyer. And that's gonna be the good old Spectrum. Yep, you guys are going to be very familiar with this deck, right? If you are not, check out my video on the first day of global launch. I recommended a deck that's very close to this one, which is accessible on day 1. So yep, Spectrum, bam, everybody with Ongoing gets plus 2 power. Just play your Spectrum on turn 6, buff everybody up here, bam, you just win the Mojoworld as well. That is if you slap down your Mojo, your Iron Man, all the good stuff. Now let's move on to some counter cards. Remember, I said you need to counter your opponents from playing 4 cards into Mojoworld. And how do we do that? It's gonna be with Kingpin Control. If you don't know how to play Kingpin Control, no worries. It's going to be our next video guide. But hey, for now, I'm gonna keep it simple. What you want to do is put your Kingpin in another location that is not Mojoworld. Because with Kingpin, when a card moves here on turn 6, destroy it. Okay, so people are going to want to play into the lane that you slapped down your Kingpin. And that is usually not going to be Mojoworld, because you won't put your Kingpin down in Mojoworld. You don't want your opponent to stack that lane, so you put it elsewhere. And then, if your opponents choose to not counter your Kingpin by playing into Mojoworld, then, well, they are in a pretty bad disadvantage. But even if they did that, you can always move their stuff from Mojoworld over to the Kingpin lane, destroying them and even winning Mojoworld as well. Because if you have 4 cards in Mojoworld and they have 3, then you gain plus 100 power and you just overpower them. All you gotta do is keep them from having equal or more cards than you in Mojoworld. Then you'll be successful. And with stuff like Polaris, you can pull their stuff from Mojoworld over to another lane. Preferably the Kingpin lane for you to destroy. And then of course, it's gonna be Magneto. Pull all 3 and 4 cost cards at this location. To this location. And bam! Just pull those pesky stuff from Mojoworld over to this lane, and Mojoworld is going to be won. And if they just disrespect your Kingpin, then you can play Arrow into Kingpin's location on turn 6. So whatever they play is all going to be moved to Kingpin's location. Remember, do not play Kingpin into Mojoworld. Just play it elsewhere and pull it with your Arrow, your Magneto, your Polaris, all the good stuff. And bam, they cannot deal with it. Okay, finally. There are going to be something else that can help you win in Mojoworld. And that's going to be the removal cards. First off, you want to kill stuff on Mojoworld, right? And a very early game option is going to be Elektra. On reveal, destroy a random enemy 1-cost card at this location. So remember us telling you about Ant-Man being really good? Yep, they slapped down an Ant-Man. It's a 1/4. Bam, if they, stack everything into Mojoworld. But hey, there's gonna be Elektra. Phew, your Ant-Man is gone. And if you play Elektra on turn 6, they might not expect it, and you just sneak a win in Mojoworld, and hopefully a win for the game as well. Well then, there are some niche situations where you can play a Gambit stack. Yep, Gambit is crazy, especially with the, Wong, Mystique, all the good stuff comboed together. You could potentially just blast everything your opponent has and win you the game. And of course, they're not gonna be having much stuff in Mojoworld. Okay, Killmonger. This is one that is used very often, and it's very pesky for those Sudaks. Okay, they see Mojoworld as the hot location. They're gonna think, okay, let's play a Sudak, right? Okay, yeah, what kind of Sudak's best? Kazoo. A ton of 1-cost cards for your Killmonger to kill. And of course, you don't want to reveal your Killmonger too soon, otherwise they are going to be able to flood their board again. So, preferably, Killmonger on turn, say 5 or 6, so they cannot expect it. And bam, if you kill everything they have on turn 6 that are cost 1, then, well, usually they're not gonna have enough cards to compete with you in Mojoworld. So you got 4 cards there, they got 3, bam, plus 100 power, you win immediately. And of course, if they slap down very high power stuff into Mojoworld, then Shang-Chi is going to easily clean that up. And then you will win that lane for free. Then of course, you can be a scumbag and block their lane with stuff like Professor X. If they have not flooded Mojoworld yet, you can lock it down with Professor X. That is of course with the help by the spy, Daredevil. And there is one card that I don't have, which is really good in Mojoworld. It's gonna be Spider-Man. So yep, Spider-Man is a 4-cost card that prevents your opponents from playing cards into this location the next turn. So yep, if they have not played stuff into Mojoworld by turn 5, then your turn 5 play could be Spider-Man. And bam, they cannot play stuff there on turn 6, and you win Mojoworld for sure. Yep, that's pretty much it for today, guys. Hopefully, this video is going to help you guys. If it has, do not forget to sub for free and stay tuned for more awesome Marvel Snap content. Now have fun playing in the new hot location, Mojoworld. Have a great day, and peace out.